Cloudy picture of the Capitol there. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren is urging the Senate to take action to support abortion rights after a leaked draft of a majority opinion shows the Supreme Court could be set to overturn the landmark 1973 abortion rights ruling Roe v. Wade. In her book, Persist, now out in paperback, Warren writes, in the same way that Congress passed laws to provide access to health care, think Medicare and Medicaid, Congress should pass a law to protect nationwide access to abortion. But such a bill would face tough odds passing the Senate, and Senator Warner joins us now. Tough odds is an understatement. Do I have that right?
You do.
You don't have the votes for it, but you're going to go forward to make everybody vote. What's the purpose of that?
We want to get everybody on the record because I think most of all we have to remember who will be affected by this Supreme Court decision. It's not well-to-do women. Well-to-do women can still get on an airplane, fly to another state, fly out of the country if they need to have access to an abortion. Who is this going to fall on? It's going to fall on poor women. It's going to fall on women of color. It's going to fall on girls who were molested by a family member. It's going to fall on people who were raped. It's going to fall on the mama who right now is already working 2 jobs to try to support the children she has. This is about making sure that everyone in this country has a right to make the decision for themselves about a pregnancy.
Yeah, we just saw a map on the screen that said certain or likely to end abortion. When you look at some of these states where the numbers are not as high as the overall national numbers of at least 60 and sometimes 80%, you'll find where people support this. Why not leave it up to the states when you have so many where the numbers may not be that high? And you look at that map and you see how many are almost certain to try and to get rid of it.
You know, actually, I do want to focus very much on the idea of what it means to outlaw abortion. I lived in an America where abortion was illegal, but it didn't mean that all abortions stopped. It just meant the safe, legal abortions stopped. I lived in an America where women bled to death from back alley abortions. I lived in an America where women developed infections, horrible complications from unclean abortions. I lived in an America where young women took their lives rather than go forward with an abortion, with a pregnancy that they could not manage. Look, we passed laws at the federal level to decide minimum wage, to decide access to health care. This is about protecting not the people with power. This is about protecting all of the people in our country who don't have power.
And Senator, what you're saying is true, and yet there are states that have said, despite that, we want to live by a different principle.
Right.
And a common refrain you hear is, if you don't like those laws in your state, you should just move. What do you say to that?
We don't do that anyplace else in our federal government. We don't say if you don't like the minimum wage in Alabama, move somewhere else. We say as a nation, we care for each other and we decide, for example, that work is worth a certain amount. We decide, for example, on Medicaid, that there's going to be, for the poorest among us, at least some access to health care. We decide this for children, to make sure that there's going to be money. We decide this on food, and we should decide this on this basic health decision that will hit the most vulnerable among us. Those of us who feel like, oh, we're in states where this will never happen, first of all, we can't turn our backs on the rest of those who will be hurt. But secondly, remember what this opinion is about. It has opened the door to a whole lot of ugliness.
Yeah.
Open the door to the question, contraception, criminalizing a woman who seeks an abortion. Will every miscarriage now be investigated? Will women be charged if they're working too many hours and put their pregnancy at risk? This is a kind of invasion that if the Supreme Court has its way here and we don't fight back at the federal level, could touch the lives of every one of us.
Yeah, just like you're saying now, in the book you write, you believe in a woman's choice no matter how difficult the decision. But there's a question, should there be any limits on abortions?
You know, I'm going to put it this way. I think that the woman who is most affected should be at the heart of this.
Of course.
I think that she should be able to call on her partner,
Right.
her mother, her priest, her rabbi. She should be able to bring in the people she needs. But in a pregnancy, I don't believe that it is the state that should intervene with its heavy hand and make the decision.
It is an extraordinary thing for a government to tell a person they need to go forward with a pregnancy.
That's right.
All right, Senator Elizabeth Warren, we have a lot more we could talk to you about.
Please
We're
come
gonna have
back.
to Come back.
I will.
Please come back.
I will.
Appreciate you being
Thank
here.
you.
The
Thank you.
paperback edition of Persist is out right now. We'll be right back.